Paimon has so many questions about his true identity. Let's go talk to him and find out.
Wait, did I hear that right? Miss...
That's right.
No, but why? Technically speaking, cases like this are better left to the guards.
Neverlet! Sidine! Hey there! What are you two talking about?
Traveler in Paimon, please help me. This is completely unprecedented. How can we have the Udex acting like a private detective? Hmm?
I trust that you'd be able to work that out with how well connected you are, but I must apologize. I do not plan on relying on anyone else's help for this matter.
So, what is it exactly? It sure sounds serious if it's something you've got to investigate personally.
A Melusine named Kiara received a threat letter.
And then?
That is all the information I have acquired at this stage.
Huh?
I have no idea why you're so hung up over this. I've checked the schedule in advance, and it seems like there aren't any trials today. So, if you...
Thank you for understanding.
Then I shall return to my post for now. Should anyone visit while you are away, I will be sure to make a record of it. I sincerely hope that you will return soon.
Judging from Sidine's reaction, it must be pretty rare for you to investigate stuff personally. What's so special about this case?
I cannot tell you just yet, but it reminded me of certain past events. There could be complicated conflicts of interest behind all this, so I must eliminate all...
Come on! Stop being so secretive! We still have no idea what's going on!
It is not my intention to keep you in the dark, but I need some time to revisit those memories and collect my thoughts. Long story short, a little more than 400 years ago, I became the Udex of Fontaine and initiated a series of institutional reform. There were few people I could trust, but I had two subordinates who were exceptionally trustworthy and capable. Carol, a Melusine, and Vautrin, leader of the Special Security and Surveillance.
They must have been amazing people to receive such high praise from you!
Indeed. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to. The reforms damaged the interests of some, and a more conservative faction took advantage of Carol's identity to instigate political unrest. Ultimately, the incident resulted in Carol taking her own life, and Vautrin being exiled. From then on, I've been especially careful when dealing with cases related to Melusines. All Melusines used to live a secluded life away from human society. I granted their wishes when some of them, including Carol, asked me to bring them to the court of Fontaine. Many common folk believe that I share a special bond with the Melusines, and whatever they do can be traced back to me. Some of them, especially those who hold a grudge against me, exploit that belief and stir up conflict over Melusines in an attempt to lay the blame on me. I have nothing against the opinions of others, but the moment a whirlpool of conspiracy forms, it inevitably affects the innocent. It has already happened once, and I want to make sure it does not happen again.
Even so, why do you have to be the one investigating? There's the guards, the Marechaussee Phantom, and the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol.
Based on prior experience, there is a high chance that those who hold hostility towards me do not belong to the same department. The political system of Fontaine is relatively complex and involves the interests of multiple different factions. However, since I am technically an outsider in Fontaine, A lot of...
Outsider? But aren't you the Chief Justice of Fontaine? Why would you be an outsider?
I understand where you are coming from, but there is not necessarily a connection. You know very well about my true identity, and have even met others of my kind in other nations. Even though I was born with a human form, there is a taking on the role of Chief Justice does not make me a part of this community. In fact, I have lived in Fontaine for a long time, but I do not belong here. That is why I call myself an outsider. A fish out of water.
Yeah, we have nothing to do with all those organizations anyway. Let's team up and round up all the bad guys lurking in the dark.
That does not sound like a bad idea. I rarely investigate cases on my own, but with professionals like you around, I'm sure it will go a lot smoother.
Oh, Paimon's starting to get a little embarrassed. Just leave it to us.
Let us go. We should visit...
So Neuvillette feels like he doesn't truly belong here in Fontaine, but Paimon feels like he has a kinda skewed perspective on a lot of things. Paimon's been thinking. You called yourself a fish out of water, right? Getting out of water suit you better?
Thank you for your suggestion. I will consider using the more accurate term in private occasions. Please allow me to rephrase. Has a dragon out of water?
Ugh. That sounds kind of weird. Let's stick with the previous version instead.
I never thought I'd see him.
The weather's amazing today.
Kiara.
Huh? Monsieur Neuvillette! And you are? Oh, I remember. You're the Traveler and Paimon. I've heard about you.
Aw, she's adorable! Hey there, it's nice to meet you.
Thanks for the compliment. Is there anything I can do for you?
I heard from Sidine that you received a threatening letter.
A threatening letter? Oh, right! I remember now. The letter fell through the crack in my door as I was heading out this morning. It said something, but Sidine told me it was a threatening letter, and that I could be in danger. But that's not gonna happen with everyone looking after me, right?
Have you run into any suspicious-looking people recently?
Suspicious-looking people? What counts as suspicious? Ah!
Did you think of some?
Nope. I don't remember meeting anyone.
Do you still have the letter with you? I want you to show me what it said.
Oh! Let's see. Found it!
Now then, get lost. If you don't leave the Maréchaussée Phantom, I will... A simple threat. Neither the handwriting nor the content itself reveals... We can't rule out that possibility. Since you can't think of anyone suspicious, I will be... Kiara, you should come with us.
Sure! Wait, no. I still have a case to work.
But you are being watched right now. Going off on your own...
And that's where we come in to help. We'll stay with Kiara and make sure she's safe. With us around, anyone scheming to hurt...
Thank you, Traveler. Big Sis Paimon.
Don't worry, your Big Sis Paimon is super strong.
All right. Let us go our separate ways for now. Please take care of Kiara.
We'll take her to a lost place right away. So, Kiara, how old are you?
Let me think. 1, 2, 10? I can't remember. But I remember coming to the court of Fontaine with Carol and Neuvillette. That must have been a long time ago.
Carol? Didn't Neuvillette mention her just now? That was more than 400 years ago. Why would Paimon be a big sister to you?
My memory isn't that good. But Carol told me I could address others based on how I feel about them. Paimon feels a lot more grown up than me, so you're a big sis.
Huh. Hi, Muncies. Hey, Traveler, did you hear that? Strange.
Olaf!
Kiara, you're here. Huh? Wait, aren't these two...
Oh, they're the Traveler and Big Sis Paimon.
I thought so. What brings you here? Did you run into any trouble?
It's not really true.
May I begin inspecting the store as planned?
Of course.
No hazards detected. You've cleared the inspection. Seems like the criminal from that case.
That was quick.
Well, I took a look around the shop. Neuvillette says that us Melazines have special eyes that can see things people can't. Things like bloodstains. No matter how hard you try to clean them up, we Melazines can see the residual stains for some time.
All right. Now that you're done, and hear me out. I'm planning to release an outfit for children next month, and wanted to hire you at...
Of course!
Please wait a moment while I take your measurements. The sample should be...
Seems like they get along really well. Huh? What are you looking at? Is there really someone watching us? Shh!
Strange?
Gotcha! Charlotte, what are you doing here? Oh, wait, don't tell Paimon you're the one who sent Kiara that threat.
Threat letter? What threat letter? This is starting to feel like an interrogation. Okay, I'll be straight with you. I don't know the slightest thing about that threat letter you mentioned.
You want to interview him?
That's right. I'm not the only one, you know. Interviewing him is every journalist's dream. But it's not an easy task to accomplish. The Palais Mermonia rarely accepts appointment requests from us, and we never have the chance to interrupt when the court's in session. So imagine how surprised I was seeing him out on the streets today. It seemed like you were investigating something too. The perfect opportunity to whip up an exclusive, don't you think? Of course, I'll make sure to turn in my manuscript to him for review. I have my principles, and I'd never publish an article without the consent of all parties involved.
Yeah, we're doing a secret investigation that can't be made public.
I see. Well, if you say so, I guess I'll put this matter aside for now. Oh, what a shame. Chances like this don't come... In exchange, could you tell me what the threat letter is about?
All right, then.
What? Someone's targeting a cute little Melazine?
Shh, not so loud.
It just so happens that I did an interview with Kiara. Last month, in fact. It was well received by our readers, so I was planning to continue the series. And now someone's coming after her. I'll ask my colleagues about it. Who knows? We might find something. But I gotta warn you, even if I keep my lips sealed.
Why?
People care a great deal about Monsieur Neuvrillette's each and every move. Some may have already realized that something was up. Anyway, I'll get going now. Watch yourself.
Well, that was a nice chat. Let's head back and check on Kiara.
What do you think?
I think it's
Huh. It's very pretty indeed.
Cloran! What are you doing here? It seems that you just showed up out of nowhere.
As I passed by the Palais Mermonia, I heard that Neuvillette was investigating a case with you. Technically speaking, he and I are under an employer-employee relationship. It didn't feel right to have my employer personally take on such trivial... I happened to have some time at the moment, and came to take a look. I sometimes have my clothes custom made at this boutique, in any case, so we always have a lot to talk about.
Ah, Nervalette sure is lucky to have someone like you.
Leave this to me. You should go meet up with Neuvillette.
Okay then, we'll leave Kiara in your hand.
Oh, you're back. Is everything all right?
We ran into Cloran. She offered to help us protect Kiara.
That is good to hear. I trust her abilities. It looks like Kiara is in good hands.
We thought so too. Well, did you find any leads?
I've been looking over the case records. Specifically, inspection. I've come up with 2 plans. On one hand, on the other, I could also analyze...
They both sound like...
Don't worry. I'm a fast reader when it comes to official documents. After all, I have several hundred years of reviewing.
We'll help you read through them.
Thank you. I will continue looking through the ones piled up on the desk. Have you made any progress?
We skimmed through some of them, but there's so many documents.
I would love to answer that question, but the truth is I've never made a... If memory serves me right, there should be at least 100,000 cases.
Whoa, that's...
That might be how it seems from another's perspective, but trials and... There are many documents here. Take a break if you are tired.
You read Pine...
All right. Let us take a break then.
Even though resting at... All the silence is making Paimon feel really awkward.
Please pardon my lack of consideration. People rarely come to the Palais Mermonia for Would you like to have some drinks, perhaps? You must be...
Ooh, drinks! Thank you! Paimon wonders what Neuvillette likes to drink. He seems like the type of person who'd own an entire winery. You know, like Diluc. What's inside these glasses? It looks just like water.
An astute observation. It is indeed water.
So it's just plain old...
What did you think it was?
Since you're the Chief Justice and all, Paimon thought you'd prefer something more... sophisticated.
This water is indeed very special. It would not be an overstatement to call it I believe you've already tried Fonta. In fact, there are many other drink factories in Fontaine. Said water is sourced from all across Tevat, including Mondstadt's Cider Lake, Liyue's Chintsa Village, and Inazuma's Konda Village. Here is one of their latest products, water from Sumeru's Apam Woods. If I were to comment on their mouthfeel... the waters of Cider Lake warm the heart. The waters of Chintsa Village have a poignant touch, while one might call the waters of Konda Village placid. Distinct differences exist between the waters of each area.
Really? Let Paimon try!
What do you think?
Nope.
How regrettable. It seems like you still have a long way to go in refining.
Hey, this doesn't have to do with refining our taste. Paimon's pretty sure most ordinary people can't tell. Oh, could it be because you're the Hydro Drag? We are allowed to bring that up, right? Oh, Paimon's been wanting to ask this for ages. If you're the Hydro Dragon, why would you become Chief Justice in human society? Sorry. Paimon was just curious. You don't have to answer.
There's nothing to hide. I was simply organizing my thoughts. I accepted this position because I wanted to seek out answers to questions that have perplexed me.
Questions? Are there really things you can't figure out?
Many, in fact. But the one question, in essence, I neither know why I was born in this form. For a long time, my memory was rather incomplete. With regard to the primordial sea, for example, perhaps the elemental dragons of other nations may have some form of an answer. However, they are scattered across all of Teyvat. Abruptly visiting could very well pose an unpredictable...
True. Some of them have very unique personalities, too.
I have been holding on to these unanswered questions for a... But there is one thing I've discovered along the way. My emotions easily resonate with those of others. Even I don't have the slightest idea what they mean. My guess would be that there are at least some similarities between humans and myself. Perhaps, but I find such progress difficult to describe. As an outsider, chances to engage in meaningful interactions with others are few and far between. That's why I'm quite thankful for this chat. Such opportunities are rare. Alas, time is limited. We should move on with our...
Are we gonna continue reading these documents?
I wasn't able to find any leads even after browsing through most of the documents. But while we...
Water? Do you mean...
That's right. The Fountain of Lucine is where all of Fontaine's waters converge. If there really were an organization attempting to use Melusines against me, perhaps we'll be able to find some new leads by sensing...
Huh. Why didn't Paimon think of that?
Perhaps we should go. There shouldn't be too many people near the Fountain of Lucine during the evening.
One with nature. Overrule.
I probably shouldn't disturb them.
Looks like we got lucky today. There's hardly anyone around.
Traveler, can you still hear the voices from the fountain?
Perhaps leave the investigation to me. I need...
A safe distance? Whoa, it's glowing! Thank you for bringing us here, Monsieur Neuvillette. The court of Fontaine is truly incredible. There's so many things I've never seen or heard before.
I understand your excitement, but there's no need to thank... Although I have responded to your wishes, it was not without personal interest. Melusine's special sight make them especially suited for joining the Maréchaussée.
I know, but I'm really glad to be of help. Not only can I repay you for your kindness, but also... it feels like my life has become a lot more meaningful.
But a meaningful life also comes with its risks.
It's definitely the safest to just stay in the village. But I want to see the outside world nonetheless. In truth, I've never really understood the purpose of my existence. For almost 20 years, we've stayed in our village without finding any answers. That's...
I understand your confusion. In fact, I feel the same way. I too came here for an answer to my questions about...
Really? Could you tell us what we should do to fit in as you did? The truth is, many people threw rocks at us today and told us to go back to our village. It hurt a lot when they hit me in the head, and I tried really hard not to cry.
Logically speaking, both time and effort are essential when different species attempt to peacefully coexist. It will be a difficult road ahead, with countless obstacles to overcome. Different identities and ways of thinking all contribute to strengthening the barrier between one another. Removing it will be no easy feat. There aren't many suggestions I can share, because just like you, I haven't fully...
Oh, I see. Let's all do our best then. I'm confident that we'll...
I believe in you, but you shouldn't lose sight of the difficulties ahead. If you run into any trouble, I suggest that you inform Vautrin.
Huh? Is he the...
Yes? Do you have any...
That stone-faced human. He didn't even bother to look at me when I tried...
He is an earnest man. There will be plenty of opportunities to work together in the future.
Hello. Can I help with anything?
Thanks, but no need.
Oh. Hello, I'm Carol, a Melusine.
Get away from here! I'm calling the guard.
Please, calm down. I don't mean to cause any harm.
Hard to say.
Yeah, we should probably stay away from these monsters. Haven't you realized? Strange incidents have been increasing.
Why should we trust this species from who knows where anyway? I can't-
Exactly. That so-called Chief Justice even granted them official positions. Not only that, but they're now
Go away! Quit acting innocent!
I'm not leaving. I won't let you say back we joined the Maréchaussée Phantom and solved lots and lots of cases.
Solving cases? With Neuvillette in cahoots with you? You could have... So tell me, How can you guarantee that...
Didn't I tell you before? Don't go advertising if you're not a good talker.
Vautrin?
Aside from spreading unjustified rumors, if you continue insulting members of the Mare Chaussee, there have indeed been an increase in cases recently. Perhaps due to the shifting currents of conspiracy. And I understand your concern. However...
Even the captain of the security patrol is on their side.
How can two completely different species possibly coexist?
You heard that?
Yeah. I don't understand. Why won't anyone believe us?
There have been rumors saying that you were born from calamity, and that you inherently bring danger to those around you. There are countless negative rumors about you floating around in Fontaine. It's near impossible for you to become a part of this system.
Monsieur Neuvillette said that we needed to put both time and effort in. I still want to try a little harder. Thank you for bailing me out earlier. Okay, I won't be taking any more of your time. I painted a lot of flyers last night, so I have to stay and hand them out to everyone.
Give them to me.
You're not gonna take them away?
We'll hand them out together. The faster we get this done...
Monsieur Neuvillette, what's this?
Medals of Peace, awarded to thank you for your continued dedication in the past 5 years. You've taken...
I think I'll pass.
Hey, don't say that. We wouldn't have made it this far without you. It won't be long before Melazines begin living peacefully with the humans. Just the...
Don't keep your hopes up. We've barely scratched the surface.
You blockhead! Don't ruin the mood!
Vautrin brings up a good point. The trust humans have placed in you is still very fragile. Any small incident could undermine the hard work you've put in. Please be on your guard for the next few days.
Yes, sir.
Okay, got it.
Medal of Peace? Peace isn't going...
Are you sure we should do this? We're no match for Neuvillette, even with all our powers combined.
Nah, not gonna happen. As long as he remains in his position, there are rules even he must comply with in the political sphere. Unless he wants to become an enemy of Fontaine. So quit worrying and just go ahead with it. I've already planned out the murder. Once we lay the blame on the Melazines as the person who brought them to the court of Fontaine, Neuvillette will be left with no
I guess you're right. Ugh, if he just left things the way they were, it...
Turn the murderer in!
Melazines can't be trusted! That goes for Neuvillette, too!
Peaceful coexistence? What a joke. Get out of the court of Fontaine and don't ever come back!
The results of the investigation are in.
Go on.
There is no direct evidence, but reasonable inference indicates that the ones controlling the situation are supporters of the old regime. They tricked Miss Carroll into going to the crime scene and pressed charges against her. After that, they incited panic among the people in order to make... The guards were stopped by the enraged mob and couldn't intervene in time.
And she called me a blockhead. A little investigation would have cleared things up. Why didn't she wait until we'd established the truth?
The situation had rapidly escalated to a physical altercation between
That is indeed...
Captain Vautrin, should I present these results?
There's no need. Notify the guards to restrict public...
Restrict access to?
There's something I've never told Carol. I had a little sister named Ilaria who passed away when I was very young. She's just like Carol in every possible way. Innocent, kind, always believing the best of people. People like her are the most vulnerable to deception and betrayal. From the moment I met Carol, I knew that she'd be easily manipulated by others.
Looks like she was unfazed by that.
Yes. In fact, some of her spirit must have rubbed off on me instead. Because I too began working towards that pie-in-the-sky dream of hers. I should have known. Those cowards don't have the guts to confront New Villette. Can you understand how I feel? Right now, there's only one thought on my mind.
I understand, but I'm certain Monsieur
That's exactly why we need to keep this a secret. Give me the list of suspects. I will take responsibility for everything.
Did you know? They're hearing a major case today, and the criminal is... Apparently, he resorted to personal measures to seek revenge for Carol and settle...
I'm thinking... we should try our best to bail him out when the trial...
Bail him out?
Shh, keep it down! Haven't you realized? Both Vautrin and Carol are Nervillette's most trusted subordinates. Besides, now that the old regime has been uprooted, Nervillette's status is secure as can be. As long as we redirect...
Vautrin sought vengeance for his friend for a valid cause. This Please, think about it. If the same thing had happened to you...
Yeah, that's right! This whole thing started because of those despicable cowards who levied false accusations against Carol. How could Vautrin...
Monsieur Neuvillette.
Mr. Vautrin is innocent!
He's innocent!
Order! I acknowledge your arguments. Vautrin, I understand your decision. Which is why personal justice does not equate to justice as defined by the law. To execute your plan for revenge, you therefore...
What?
That can't be! Monsieur Nervillette, please give this a little more thought.
Vautrin, my friend.
Neuvillette, what have I done to deserve this? I've closely followed every one of your orders. Can't you see? Is this what justice means to...
Order. Since there have been no further objections, the order... According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, Miss...
Goodbye, Monsieur Neuvillette.
This all happened because of Carol's naive idea.
How can difference speak...
Apologies, it seems like my memories got the better of... I tried my best to suppress the power of Hydro within myself, but due to my negligence, the overflow of emotions and memory...
Wow, the Hydro Dragon is more Anyways, the last time we came here, the Traveler...
It is as you said. It is not only the fountain. I can sense emotions from all waters in Fontaine.
That sounds awesome!
But I rarely ever do anything like this. Emotions carried by water are always chaotic and disconnected. Which ones? It's fine. I prefer not to speak of those memories. That does not... It was a coincidence, but perhaps you should now understand why I believe there to be a conspiracy behind all this.
Paimon, don't leave Paimon out of the conversation.
Then let us get back to the point. While I was investigating the fountain, I did not sense too much hatred towards me. I don't know what caused this to happen, but it seems like there won't be a... However, I did find some resentment directed towards Kiara.
Oh! Didn't we read it?
You've read about it. In that case, the resentment should have...
Huh? What are you doing here? I was just about to look for you at the Palais Mermonia.
Navia! Nice to see you again! Is there some...
I've heard some things, but I'm not purposely asking around or anything. Don't worry. Rumors are abroad that someone's scheming against Melusines, so I told the Spina di Rosula to keep an eye out for leads. We've had unfamiliar faces showing themselves at the Fleuve Cendre lately. Maybe you'll find the suspect.
Thank you. Where did you hear about all?
The Chief Justice out on investigation, accompanied by the Traveler from afar. You talked to Kiara, but didn't ask her to keep things secret. People curious to know asked around for information, then it was only—
So that's what Charlotte meant.
Indeed. I did not expect that this could be kept hidden for
You know, it could be because you attract more attention than you think. Anyway, any progress—
The suspects who threatened Kiara might have to do with a certain smuggling case. We are planning to return to the Palais Marmonia.
All right, then I'll round up the Spina di Rosula. Wait for my word. Ta-ta!
Nevertheless.
I have already considered that possibility, and I do not think that there will be any. As a matter of fact, once the word gets out, no one would dare to harm Kiara. What is more important is how the case is perceived by the public. 400 years ago, they chose to— I hope the same won't happen again.
Strange. What are these people? Did something happen? Let's take a look around.
Have you heard? Someone's plotting against a Melusine. This is 100% the truth. Even the Chief Justice is investigating in
What? That's it! Who's been threatening Melusine?
Our enemies are lurking in the shadows and won't easily reveal themselves.
That's exactly what I wanted to say. The guards have already— Think about how much we owe them. Now that they're in danger, how can we just sit back and do nothing?
Everyone, please stay alert to your surroundings from now on.
It feels like you've been following me this whole time. Did something happen?
We were informed that. Nope. We just finished our shifts and happened to be strolling by.
Have you had dinner yet? Why don't we check out the new items at the dessert shop together?
This isn't a good time to be— Come on. Don't act tough. I bet you're hungry too.
All right. Let's go buy a cake or something.
You shouldn't ever skip meals. Especially if you have another shift scheduled for later.
I heard even Nervilette's keeping an eye on the situation. This is the perfect chance to get promoted.
Seriously? Were you planning to shirk your duties if Nervilette wasn't involved?
Relax, I was just playing. We've worked together for years now. If something happened to them, I'd be haunted by regret for the rest of my life.
That's more like it. We should stand guard.
Come and fight me instead, you coward!
Have you heard? Even the special patrol can—
Shh! Look! Isn't that Nervilette?
Looks like there's nothing to worry about.
This is truly wonderful.
So, wanna go over and say hi?
No, I should stay where I am. My appearance could give rise to unnecessary commotion. Let us stick to our plan and return to the Palais Marmonia. The smuggling case was solved by the joint forces of the guards and the Maréchaussée Phantom. This is the one. The list of involved suspects should be— found it.
What does it say?
The principal offenders Domenico, Inica, Yuna, and others have been caught. They have been sent to the fortress of Meropide following trial. Those with close connections or mutual interests with the offenders but who did not participate in the case will not stand trial. Among them, surveillance of Essin has ceased on account of his good—
So many names.
Yes, there is something suspicious. It seems like he's closely related to the core members of the smuggling case.
Monsieur
Nervalet. Someone claiming to be from the Spina di Rasula just checked in with us. He said, and I quote, "We have located the... Huh? How did Navia find them so quick?
I too am perplexed. The cap...
Hey, Navia, we're here! Whoa. Check out all these...
These are the people who have had recent dealings at the Marechaussee Phantom. They're usually hidden in the Fleuve Cendre, but I sent for some...
Invite them over.
Exactly. Now, I heard there's great coffee here.
Yeah, it's our pleasure to be guests of the...
I've wanted to have a meetup like this for ages.
But... Oh, well. Let's get back...
Yes.
You're Essa?
Yes. Yes, Monsieur Nervilet.
Did you write that threatening letter?
I did, but I was just following orders.
Orders from whom?
Domenico. He was my boss. I couldn't disobey his...
Where is he now?
The fortress of Meropide.
Well, I'm afraid even the Spina would have trouble looking into that place. Looks like you'll have to make the trip yourselves.
You've done more than enough. I'm extremely grateful for your help.
Leave the formalities for later. You should find Domenico first. If he really is the one setting up the conspiracy...
All right, then. Let's head to the...
How many forging commissions do I still have to finish? Let's see. 1, 2... Not so many as I thought. I'll get to them tomorrow.
Bring it! Oh, it's Monsieur Nervalet.
Welcome to the Fortress of Meropide, dear esteemed guests.
We're back! Oh, and a greeting from none other than the Duke himself! Guess we made a name for ourselves at this place.
This isn't anything new. I figured you had important matters to discuss when the two of you, not to mention the Chief... Let's assume we've gone through the pleasantries and... I do remember a thing or two about Domenico.
He once attempted to round up the other inmates and instigate a protest.
Who does this guy think he is?
He once attempted to, I said, meaning that it was over before it even started. To be honest, Domenico doesn't seem like much of a conspirator. The fact that the three of you bothered to
He's got the same concerns we do.
I am concerned about this incident because something similar has occurred in the past.
That's an easy one. Let me
Did I hear someone say Melazine? What happened?
Sijuin! Yeah, and we're investigating.
Really? Is Kiara gonna be okay?
There's no need to worry. Clarande is protecting her as we speak.
Well, that's great. But if the criminal's still... Is there anything you can do about this?
Ah, head nurse. Do you require...
Writhsley?
Okay, I get it. I'll bring Dominique...
Think of it as more of a humble request. I'm here on my own accord. Thanks for the trouble. Consider me in your debt.
Whoa! If Paimon were the Duke, Paimon would take this chance to ask for something really...
Well, were I still a criminal, I'd probably ask for a lighter sentence. But enough jokes. I'll look for Domenico and bring him to you. Make yourselves at home. Our dear head nurse has mentioned you quite a few times.
Please come with me to the infirmary. Ah, and watch your step. There's some pretty dark areas, so make sure you don't trip over anything.
Bring it!
Now that I think about it, I can leave this place soon. Huh?
Please rest here for a moment. Oh, and would anyone like anything to drink?
Paimon's not that...
Thirst is a warning sign that you're dehydrated, which means you have to drink up even before that. I'll bring you some tea. I'm sure you'll have a lot to talk about.
Typical Sijuin. Concerned about everyone's health is all. Why aren't you two saying anything?
You noticed them too. The badges they wore on their chests looked...
Familiar? But if both of you say so, let's go ask them about it.
That's not a bad idea.
Bring it!
Anything you need? Oh, this?
What's that?
We have a very long history. We have never had many members throughout our history, nor do we have helping each other is our purpose.
Sounds like a pretty neat organization.
All we want is to defend ourselves. None of us have ever committed serious crimes, and we're not especially powerful either. We're at a natural disadvantage here in the fortress. But people won't give us a hard time if we stick together.
Interested in joining the mutual aid? If you'd like to learn more, our slogan may have evolved here.
You two look... It's the symbol of the mutual aid net. From what I've heard, it's based on something called a Medal of Peace. I've never seen one of those medals. The first president of our network was an amazing person. Powerful as he was, he never used to... All of us have a lot of...
We should have gathered enough information. Let's head back and talk to Neuvillette.
Did you manage to gather any intel?
The people who wore the badges belong to an organized... According to them, the badge's design was inspired by the metal...
I personally crafted 2 of them myself. They were awarded to Carol and Vautrin. Carol's medal was destroyed in a fire.
Oh, so the network was inspired...
Monsieur Neuvillette, His Grace has requested your presence in his office. He's found Domenico.
All right.
Bring it!
Allow me to introduce this fine gentleman. Why don't you explain everything?
Neuvillette? What do you want? What are you gonna do? Kill me?
Calm down. I merely want to ask you a few questions. Was it your idea to say... Hassan has already confessed, so that...
That idiot! I can't believe I trusted him.
Let me ask this another way. It was your idea to...
Yes.
Who is pulling your strings?
What? You're not trying to frame me for...
It's best if you realize the gravity of your situation. The Chief Justice of Fontaine has, I assume, your previous attempt to incite unrest at the Fortress of Meripede.
I admit I acted on impulse. I'll tell you the truth.
I can do that.
You see, we're all
I only intended to do some small business at first. Someone contacted me about delivering some goods. After making a few trips, I was suddenly approached by the Maréchaussée Phantom, but I refused to accept any of that. The ignorant can be rightfully absolved from guilt, right? Well, I suspect that someone got me locked up here so they could get...
And then you decided to take revenge on the Melazines?
My initial target was Neuvillette. Everyone in the Fortress of Meripede was declared guilty by him after all. So they must more or less... But for some reason, no one wanted to team up with me. That mutual aid network in particular. What did those nobodies even gain from trying to challenge me? Seriously. In the end, I had to redirect my focus onto Melazines to salvage things. I recall that Chiara was the one who confiscated my goods for inspection. So I asked one of the more approachable guards to send a letter. But the letter was in fact addressed to Essa. I requested that he write a threat letter to Chiara and force her to resign from the Maréchaussée.
Am I to assume that the claims you've made are your own thoughts?
No.
Is it true that all members involved in the smuggling...
Yes. And that's...
Sigewinne, please take him back to the detention center. I'll deal with him later. So, Monsieur Neuvillette, you were concerned that there might be a shadowy faction looking to cap...
Yes. I experienced a similar incident.
And how long ago
More than 400 years.
You might be overthinking this. Time can change a lot of things.
What do you mean?
400 years ago, you and the Melazines you brought to Fontaine were the outliers in society. But in the present day, if someone were to threaten the safety of the Melazines, people wouldn't just sit back and do nothing.
That's right! We saw lots of people standing up for Melazines on our way back to the Palais Mermonia.
Monsieur Neuvillette, the Melazines are a species you introduced to Fontaine. When people refused to place their trust in Melazines, it was because they were still on the fence about you, their unfamiliar... For almost 500 years, you've conducted every trial with impartiality. People no longer have any reservations about you, and even consider you a symbol of the law. Right now, your every decision will impact all of Fontaine.
Paimon gets it now. No wonder no one wanted to join forces with...
I am undeserving of such high compliments. From my perspective, I have simply been fulfilling my duties. It isn't anything special or worthy of praise. I'm simply fulfilling the promises I've made and searching for... It is unnecessary to hold me in such high regard. The complexity of human emotions and willpower far exceed those of mine. As a matter of fact, I believe that you are the ones who deserve my respect.
There's no need to be so modest. The current state of affairs says it all. You're no longer that outsider you were before. Even if you wish to investigate...
I must say that you've made a fair point. Thank you for clearing my doubts.
Huh? You're leaving?
And so soon, too? Why not stay for a cup of tea?
Thank you for the offer, but I know how this place works. While some are here to redeem themselves, they're willing. The less time I spend here, the better.
In that case, I'll have to insist.
Please, go ahead.
The first is about the guard who helped Domenico send that.
I know. The guard was indeed deployed from the Palais Memoria's staff. However, as I mentioned earlier...
Well, that makes things a lot easier. Hey now, don't let your imagination run wild. Those from up there have a tendency to sympathize with others. However, I'll have a chat with the guard and remind him to take precaution.
I see no issues with...
Great! That's one thing out of the...
The other thing was born from my own sense of curiosity. Now, I've heard that you...
Yep. Nevertheless, thought they're back.
I noticed the small gang as well when I first took over the fortress of Meripede. They were not great in number, but every member... I've looked into their founder, Vautrin, who once stood trial, and according to existing documentation, Vautrin remained disciplined throughout his imprisonment. He had never... In other words, how he presented himself in prison was very different from his behavior in...
What? During his trial, I could sense that his feelings were complicated. He appeared to be full...
Perhaps he had been putting on...
An act?
Neuvillette and Vautrin had a close relationship as superior and subordinate. Vautrin, thus, the more resentment he displayed, the clearer, and to those who had been sitting on the fence, Vautrin's act was a very meaningful... That's all from me.
I don't have anything to say. Apart from expressing my gratitude, that is. Well then, let us head...
Please, take care.
That trial is something I rarely bring up in conversation, but... I have always felt deep regret for what happened to both Carol and Vautrin. The words he spoke in court often replay in my mind, as if urging me on to do something.
Isn't that a good thing?
I believe I now understand what he wanted to tell me. I feel conflicted about those words. How should I describe it? Surprise, relief, fear, and regret. But this blend of emotions has led me to finally understand some things. I would like to hear your thoughts, too. What do you think of me?
Paimon agrees with everything Risley said. As Chief Justice, every single one of your trials makes an impact on Fontaine. What do you think, Traveler? Hey, any
What I really think is, every trial you've ever judged has left its impression on you. And that's what makes you who you are today.
That is indeed a reasonable assumption. As I said, I find it difficult to express my emotions because I cannot fully understand myself. But I trust your judgment. Since some time ago, I have begun to notice the changes that have occurred upon my person. These changes were not due to any specific occurrence, but emerged as a result of time itself. I will try to contemplate this further. Thank you both.
Oh, huh? It's raining! Oh no, Paimon forgot to bring an umbrella! Come on, let's hurry before it rains harder!
It's raining again? I've had enough of this weather.
There go my travel plans.
Did you read the news this morning? Quick, put away everything on the clothesline.
When is this rain going to stop?
Hydro Dragon, don't cry!
They're planning to reanimate the monster. We have to report this to the Chief Justice.
The Fortress of Meripede. It's a good place for me.
He owes me so many answers.
Nervillette? You could say he's the real symbol of Fontaine's justice.
Watch him closely. He could be trouble.
How can two completely different species possibly coexist?
Who's been threatening Melusines? Show yourself!
You will see much in the human world, from the delightful to the depressing. And one day, when you have dwelt among humanity long enough, you will be placed to bring judgment over all as a spokesperson for Fontaine's past.
Good morning, Monsieur Neuvillette! The rainy season's almost over! The skies are supposed to clear in a few days!
I hope you find time to enjoy the sunny days ahead.
Is the matter resolved?
Yep, we found the person who sent that threatening letter. Risley said he'd keep—
Oh, that's wonderful.
Sorry for dragging you all in.
There's no need to apologize.
Yeah, you didn't drag us in. We got involved of our own accord.
By the way—
At the Palais Marmonia, more than 50 people offered to protect her. I was worried that the excess of protection would make her feel uneasy.
Whatever.
Well, now it looks like the dust has to celebrate this joyous occasion. Monsieur New—
That's not how you celebrate—
I will consider.
Really?
Of course. My schedule is full for the following weeks, but I come up with questions during the intervening days, and I will answer them to the best.
Yes! Thank you so much, Monsieur!
Now, if you'll excuse me, I must head back to the I hope it will assuage the concerns of all.
Oh, an exclusive interview!
Don't let anything hold you back.
I agree. He'll decline any question he can't answer anyway.
Kiara?
Monsieur Neuvillette? Sorry, I accidentally fell asleep.
It's quite all right. I'm here to tell you that we have caught this.
Thank you, Monsieur. And thank you too, Traveler and Big Sis Paimon. Everyone's been so nice to me, so I've always felt really safe.
Do you remember Domenico?
Let me think. By the way, I saw Carol in my dreams just now. In my dream, she looked really happy. She held my hand and said, "Kiara, our dreams have finally come true." I can't remember what our dreams were anymore, and I don't know why. But I felt really happy too.
I can sense your joy. It is indeed a delightful moment.
Monsieur Neuvillette, are you happy too? Oh, I almost forgot. Am I allowed to go out now? I promised to model for Alov.
Of course. Off you go.
See you next time, Monsieur, Traveler, and Big Sis Paimon.
See you next time. I once thought that time was distance yourself from others and stay focused on your work. But after all this, I've realized the passing of time has its own consequence.
Fortress of You've got a set schedule, guaranteed food and board, and oh, you mean Risley? Well, he does look kind of intimidating. He's actually, Paimon wonders how he's like with the yeah, he must be...
Excuse me, did I hear someone...
Huh?
Excuse me, is someone passing...
Nope, Paimon wasn't dreaming. There's someone over there for sure. But, Paimon...
Oh, did you hear my call? Thank you.
You're inside the... why are you hiding in here anyway? If we hadn't happened to pass...
It's a bit complicated. Can we not talk about that for now?
Whoa, that's terrible. Did
No, it was nothing quite that serious.
Just your hat? Huh. Wait, Paimon gets it! Something must have happened to your hair! Sorry. So that's what... You just need your hat, right?
I think you may have misunderstood. It's a soft and brown hat with a... I think I probably lost it. It's really important to...
Don't worry, we'll be... Paimon doesn't see anything here. Oh, let's go somewhere else. Just where is that thing? Oh, this is taking... Nothing in the water. Oh, we've looked everywhere and still not seen anything that looks like... Why don't we check out the Rag and Bone Shop? If memory serves, they got all kinds... How did you know what... nowadays. Well,
Bring it!
Paimon doesn't remember you being the boss.
Well, I'm just standing in for Mr. Alvar while he's off restocking the shop. Now, just wait a sec. A blonde foreigner, dressed all in white, accompanied by a glaze-covered flying chunk of gingerbread. Well, you must be the legendary traveler and their companion Paimon.
This guy is incredible. I love his accent already, mate. Gingerbread.
No! Well, you're half right. Paimon's the traveler's treasured companion, sure, but she's not some flying chunk of gingerbread!
Sorry, I never thought I'd get the chance to see you with my own eyes, so, got a bit. I hope you find it in your magnanimous hearts to forgive my discourtesy. I'm just a nobody, after all.
There's no need to put yourself down like that. Paimon's just...
Why, your heroic actions at Aeneas have long made their way to the... We heard that you were personally received by His Grace when you made your way, and you're one of His Grace's favorite people, so of course, everyone wants to be introduced to you. Well, after all, I also only joined up here because And no, I've only caught scant sight of His Grace since then. I mean, we've all got agendas, but rather than trying to fall...
Oh, so now you're trying to kiss up to us.
Well, I did mean it when I called you legend. Oh, enough of that. Is there something you're looking for? No problem. Hey, feel free to check out anything you want.
Wait, but that's,
Well, it's not like I'm getting paid to watch this shop. Instead of more or coupons, Mr. Alvar usually... Life's been pretty good recently, so I might as well just wave you a bit.
All right. Paimon will take a look.
Are you sure you don't want more? These opportunities...
It's all right. Two will do. It just doesn't feel the same if... But anyway, we don't need to get into that right now. We can discuss Paimonology later. That poor guy... Thank you so much. We'll be off then.
No problem, and thank you for your patronage. I'd appreciate it if you could put in a nice word for our establishment the next time you speak to His Grace.
That's a real sneaky way of getting good reviews. We've been gone a while. Paimon hopes that... You can come out now!
You did?
Wait! So, you're not actually...
I mean, I told you that there had been... Wait, this isn't mine.
Well, we got you a new one!
Ah, I see!
Does it have some kind of sentimental...
Sorry, I can't explain at the moment.
If you're looking for a hat, I just picked one up over here.
Your Grace!
Oh, hey, Risley! It's been a while!
Well, it's a slow day today, so I decided to go for a little stroll. I'll say I'm not at all surprised to find the two of you here.
It's what good adventurers do!
Is that so? Maybe I should consider asking the Adventurers Guild to open a branch here. As I recall, these hats are very important to members of the Beret Society. Bet you might not have the same luck next time.
Understood. Thank you so much, Your Grace. Then I'll be off.
What a strange guy. Why did he care so much about his hat? Oh, and has he done something wrong? When he said...
Oh, not at all. In fact, members of the Beret Society are model prisoners. As for him, I'd guess he's just more of an introvert. It's not unusual for the more shy prisoners to freak out.
Huh? Shy?
Prisoners are still people, after all. There are as many crimes and motives as there are stars in the sky. The idea of the criminal as a selfish, heartless brute is just a stereotype. Such labels could never capture the complexity of even a single individual person. What kind of a person a prisoner may be and why they've committed a crime, we'd never know these things if they don't share their story with us.
Huh. You've got a point. Anyway, it's all good.
Although most of the society, the Beret Society, does appear to be an exception. If you have some time, why don't we grab something at the coupon? And if you're still interested in the berets after that,
Paimon's not the biggest...
All right then, please follow me.
Welcome, Your Grace, and the Traveler. Unfortunately, we weren't informed of your visit in advance, so...
I'll pass on the food, then. What about you?
Then Paimon will also pass.
What a pity. It would seem that none of us can properly appreciate your skills, Walsey.
Then, I must beg Your Grace, if you're not in the mood to eat, I can get you some drinks.
Yes, please? Huh. Paimon didn't know you could get non-welfare stuff at the...
It's not for everyone. Think of it as,
Oh, now that's what Paimon likes to...
2 bottles coming right up.
Our first meeting took place on short notice, and we were both swamped by everything. I'm actually quite fond of stories, you know. Of course, the others have already told me a lot about your deeds in Fontaine.
Whoa. That'd be quite the long story.
Impressive. Not all who possess the courage to risk their life for their ideals also have the strength to make it out of... Had you not possessed these remarkable qualities, I probably wouldn't have had the chance to make your acquaintance in the first...
Paimon could... That guy we talked to earlier was obviously trying to get us to put in a good word for him, but you're the dude...
Well, after all, you did help the fortress and I maintain our autonomy. Is it so strange that I would want to give a few words of praise out of genuine admiration? So this is a matter of trust. Which is unfortunate, since I don't have nearly as interesting of a story to offer about myself. I was convicted and sent here at an early age. I only became the top dog after spending a long time figuring out power and control come in many forms. Some fair and ethical, others less so. And since we're all sinners here, the victor calls the shots, no matter how they manage to get to the top. So, what do you think? Didn't put you much more at ease.
Kinda. You're really different.
I'm perfectly aware of that too. But even so, that doesn't make me think any less of you. I would very much like to maintain friendly relations with you two.
Your Grace, after following your instructions, we were able to find they were extremely well hidden, and we've confirmed that the senders have been using this method to smuggle goods for a while.
Got it. Leave the box here and contact me immediately.
Yes, Your Grace.
Sorry, I'd almost completely forgotten about this.
She mentioned something about contraband.
Not necessarily. The term is just applied to things people want to bring in on the sly. Many people here are experts at pulling rabbits out of the most ordinary hats. Now, what do we have here?
Whoa, this is certainly a box of curiosities. Mora? Snacks? Wait, if you've confiscated this entire box...
Yep. We can't just send them back up now.
What? But that's just insane profit! Traveler, why don't you become a duke as well?
It's only been a couple minutes since we agreed to continue friendly relations with each other, and you're already planning to overthrow me? Jokes aside, I didn't know you'd be so interested in this box. How about this, then?
Really? You'll let Paimon pick anything? No take-backs. Paimon will have you know that she's got a real good eye for treasure.
I never joke about things like this.
All right, Paimon's gonna have a look. Paimon wants... this one. Actually, never mind. Paimon doesn't want this gem anymore. Can Paimon pick something else instead? There's something weird about this gem. Paimon remembered a lot of bad things when she picked it up. Paimon couldn't even tune them out. It's as if the gem was just drawing them out of Paimon.
Is that so? Let me give it a try. Paimon's right. I too experienced some unpleasant flashbacks. Are you sure? I wouldn't exactly call it fun. Fair enough. Go ahead. I don't think it'll have a permanent...
Are you okay, Traveler? You also saw something, right?
I'll take this gem, then, and run a thorough investigation on its properties. Paimon...
Then... actually, never mind. Paimon's gonna pass. Paimon was thinking of...
You do have a point. In that case, seems like we're almost done with our drinks, too. Let's go check out I can introduce you, and we can also...
Wait, are you this free every...
Just noticed? I wasn't exactly busy the first time we met either.
We are honored by your visit, Your Grace. All of us at the Society have been waiting for you. All these your two get?
Mm-hmm. Let me introduce you to them. Traveler, this is Dugier, the head of the Beret Society. This is their gathering place. Members can find all sorts of drinks and snacks here, as well as a large variety of books and other resources. Every once in a while, the Society will also host activities and seminars, which are...
You flatter me, Your Grace. It's so easy to feel lonely and helpless when you arrive here for the first time. But that's when the thought came to me. If we could help everyone turn over a new leaf, they would no longer have to lead such gloomy... Thus, it was with your help that I founded the Beret Society.
Oh, so you were also involved with this, Risley?
My part in this was minimal. All I did was follow procedure and rubber stamp. I'm sure you have a very good sense of what this place is about by now. As you know, not everyone takes their sentence seriously. But the Society is a great place.
Exactly right. Here, we keep an eye on each other and remind each other of our goals. Everyone can focus on rehabilitating our mental states and even make many
Why
new
did this
friends.
accent change? Why did it turn southern? They say right here, we'll keep an eye on each other and remind each other of our goals. Everyone can focus on rehabilitating our mental states, even make new friends along the way. Like, what is that?
Our operations are entirely funded by members' donated goods.
Yo, I love this guy.
Same for the things you can see here.
I don't know if it's the music that I'm hearing, but this is incredible. Our operations are entirely funded by members donating goods and credit coupons and such. Some for the things you see here.
Who knew you could find such a place in the Fortress of Mirapede?
Incredible.
Oh, right, and what's the deal with...
There's nothing deep about it. If our members felt joy and pride from being a part, and when we're together, we will feel a sense of community from optimism, community, hard work, and a desire for a new life.
The judge bird from Angry Birds. Optimism, community, hard work, and a desire for a new life. I'll sentence you to the maximum punishment bar. Anger management. Like, you can, like, that accent is it.
In other words, that hat has come to represent something.
Once again, you are exactly right, Your Grace. That's a part of our goal as well. Let's take a little old seat over here. There's no need for us to stand.
Yo, the twang.
I'll ask the members to get us some drinks. Please, wait here just one moment. Yo, feel free to look around, too, if you want to learn more about us.
Oh my gosh, the twang.
Oh, right. What happened to your...
Seems like I shouldn't underestimate an adventurer's keen sense of observation. Kidding, of course. We're just discussing some... We've also already gone over the organization's vision.
Why does Paimon feel like he didn't answer the question at all? Well, we're already here, aren't we? Yeah, they're supposed to be like the model...
welcome to our gathering place. Is there anything you...
Oh, it's okay. We're just taking a look around.
Well, that's not a bad comparison. I'm sure Mr. Dugier has already explained some of... Besides this space, which our members use to rest and relax, we also have an entertainment room, These rooms are open to all of our members. We want everyone to be able to use their...
Wow, that's pretty cool. Do you have a restaurant?
Unfortunately, we don't. For matters like that, we started a collaboration with the cafeteria a while back, though, so they'll let us borrow their...
Yeah, Paimon can definitely see how it...
Yep, and that's exactly why, Mr. Dugier, we all think we...
Hey, what are you doing?
Oh, hello. You are a guest of the Duke, are you not? We've got some classics as well. Yeah, most of them are writing diaries or autobiographies on their time in the organization. Some quit drinking. Some learned to tailor. Some became real good at calligraphy. And even I've learned to use a camera. We find it kind of funny. You see, had we managed to stay above ground, none of us would have ever had the time to learn any of those skills.
Ah, it's because you all have a lot more free time.
Not only that, but we've also now got the mental space to think about taking on new things. Before we came here, we were constantly exhausted just trying to live. With how the Duke and Mr. Dugier have organized our lives down here, though, you never know what you may be good at until you give it a try. And while you're here, no matter what you do, you won't get judged for it. After all, there's no need to conform to societal expectations when you're already in jail.
So this is something like a safe space.
Yeah, that's exactly right. After all, not everyone is good at fighting. And that's it. I just finished organizing this shelf as well, so feel free to check it out if you want. Just remember to put the books back after you're done.
Don't worry, we will.
Hey, you there, newbie!
Hello?
Yep, I'm talking to you. Now, why don't you follow my lead and... Ha! That's how I pump myself up every day. A lot of my friends have found it super useful too. With one shout, you can release all the fatigue, resentment, and unpleasantness from your lungs and return to the day with all the optimism in the world. Why don't you also give it a try, huh? I promise that it'll work.
Paimon's gonna pass.
Feeling shy? That's alright. As long as you remember this trick, just remember to take a deep breath and let it all out if you find yourself at your wit's end.
Alright, we've talked to everybody. It sure sounds like that would explain why Risley only had good things to say. Huh. It looks like they're starting to wrap up their conversation.
Of course, Your Grace. I would...
Okay, then I don't have anything else to add. Oh, you're back. What did you think about this place? Now, note that your opinion will also affect my review of...
Wait, I didn't know they were also a part of the evaluation. It's all right with me, though.
Paimon thinks it's pretty... Don't think anyone expected you to get a society going here of all places.
Ah, so it seems that you were able to get a sense of our vision and values. That's all I can ask for.
The prisoners here all have very different Our needs are like violent beasts. If we can't face them properly, they'll grow restless and enraged, causing pain and conflict. But if we can placate them, they lose their fangs, and they can even be converted into fuel for far nobler pursuits. Which is why, in my opinion, learning to reconcile with oneself is the first step on the path to redemption.
You've hit the nail on the head, Your Grace. Before I founded the Society, I had met too many people who could not come to... And I'm sure that a part of your support is rooted in your desire to help those people find their way.
And Paimon thought everyone was enjoying life just fine, work...
Of course, that lifestyle is more than enough for some people.
Speaking of fighting, I'm not sure if you knew this, but even His Grace sometimes fights in the ring.
What? You fight in the ring too? Where?
Oh, I almost never need them.
Hey, isn't that the guy who lost his hat? What's wrong? Did you forget about us already?
Are you feeling all right? You are looking a little...
No, I'm fine. Thank you for helping. I'm sorry, but...
He's still as weird as before.
Dugier, do you know what's up with him?
I'm also not too sure about that. As far as after all, it's my responsibility as the leader to make...
We'll leave him to you then. Where were we before we got sidetracked? Oh, right, about that. You might have thought that I was joking, but in a place like that, and when emotions run high, things often spiral out of control. Sometimes you might need more than just gloves as well. This pair of handcuffs has also come in handy quite a number of times. Oops.
Oh, isn't that awful gem? You're still carrying it with you?
Yeah, I kept it on me because of its special qualities. It won't...
Go on, you guys. Pick up the item for his grace.
Yes, right away.
That gem shines with quite the dazzling light. I hope it hasn't been damaged.
It still looks good to me. Say, Dugier, have you ever seen...
Never, Your Grace. Don't think I've ever...
I guess that's fair. We've already gone over most of the things that I wanted to talk about, so...
Got it, Your Grace. Take care, everyone. I'll take you to the exit. Traveler, Paimon, it was an honor. I'm sure everyone would love it if you were to visit again.
And same to you.
Paimon doesn't think we made any plans for the rest of the day.
Well, what's your opinion of the society now?
Paimon thinks it's pretty Paimon doesn't remember exactly what you said, but there's only one potential problem. If the society does too good a job managing and rehabilitating its members...
That is certainly a possibility. But at this point in time, they're still reducing my workload by managing and rehabilitating. I wanted to see just how much they've managed to accomplish. I arranged for a meeting out of curiosity, but...
Dissonance?
I'm sure the Traveler has sensed it too. As expected, the whole truth is a bit complicated, so I'll explain everything to you. I'd hoped to take care of it in secret, but now, confrontation may no longer be... Why don't you take this opportunity to check back on the gathering place? Just tell them you if my hypothesis is correct, Dugier should, and with his watchful eye removed, you may well get a very different reception from the members. I'm just following the most popular playbook in Fontaine. Investigate. It's been so long since I got to watch a performance at Opera Epiclese that I've even begun to miss it. I'll explain everything to you later. Find out what you can from them.
Bring it!
It's just as Rise... You said you felt there was something off about this place. Paimon will do her best to help.
Wait, you guys are...
We're really sorry. We just realized that we...
Oh, okay.
Nobody? It's okay. There's no need to be nervous. It's not like we'll just look for it ourselves if none of you caught a glimpse of it.
I'll go find Mr. Dugier.
No need. We're just looking for something. we can look around for it. Hey, hello?
There's a variety of resources and benefits to its members, and...
You don't know...
sorry, that's not what I meant. It's...
Hey!
What do you want?
Isn't this how you greeted us earlier?
Oh, yeah, that's right. You sure are a fast learner. I ate something earlier, so you're looking for something, you said?
Are you still organizing the book?
Yeah, and
We weren't thinking about that to begin with, but weren't...
Sorry.
Okay, Paimon sees what you meant now. Seems like they really don't want to talk to us, so let's just head back.
Oh, you're back.
It was as if they had all turned into completely different people.
The dissonance I mentioned earlier was precisely that fleeting moment of fear behind the cheerful facade.
Right. He was acting super scared. Actually, hasn't he just been...
And that's precisely why I took his hat.
Oh, so it was you all along!
It's because I wanted to figure out what's I don't believe any of Dugier's talk about unstable mental states. Not too long. Dugier made very elaborate preparations for my visit. But I don't know.
Okay, but if you think something's wrong, why don't you just take the... Aren't you the Duke? You can do whatever you want in this place.
Well, maybe you're actually a better fit for the position than I am. Just give me the word and I'll hand you the cuffs. In all seriousness, however, cuffs and the like should be used sparingly. They're mostly for show. Everything I do is on display. The way people see me act determines the kind of world I can create. And I've always striven to appear fair and...
That sounds a bit deep. Paimon's not sure she...
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head. I have to lead by example if I want to maintain And that's why even though Dugier had already let a few things slip, I didn't want to turn...
Alright, so you're saying Dugier has figured... And even though the members are acting all optimistic and motivated, it's all just...
Indeed. He certainly seems to be using some coercive I have some faith, though, that some of the members... The line has been set, and it's...
Fish?
Let's give them some time. Mike, you can find me in my office when the time comes.
Hey! Don't just leave before you've... It's finally evening. Brysley's probably wrapped up his investigation. Paimon has no idea what that guy's thinking. Let's just go find him and ask him what he's really up to.
Oh, here you are. Did you manage to land a lucky pull on the welfare meals tonight?
Let's just get straight to the point. Has anything else happened?
Patience, Paimon. Even as the situation continues to brew, I'm actually still thinking about the first thing that came to my mind when I noticed something amiss. Namely, why didn't anyone come to...
Oh, that's a good point.
But even if such a thing existed, how could they be so sure without checking with me first? It'd be one thing if it was just one or two people, but it seems like... Which leads me to believe that it's more likely that they think I just wouldn't care to help them. Yes, something like that. So it became imperative for me to refute that and prove my true stance. Of course, I had originally planned to do this in a more covert way, but I had to improvise when you identified the guy who'd lost his hat with everyone present. There was no way to keep our investigation...
That makes sense. Wait, then does that mean it was all Paimon's fault?
The last thing that guy wanted was for Dugier to find out that he'd lost it. He would have never brought the matter up on his own, but now... Not only has Dugier found out that he'd lost his hat, that likely set his internal alarms off all at once. Yes, that's the conclusion I came to as well. If we didn't act right then and there, Dugier would probably come up with some other. So after giving the matter some thought, I tossed it. I must say, I was.
So you did that on.
Yes, that's right. Of course, that box was discovered as part of our investigation of this. I had no way to know if any of the members had actually seen the gem before, but since I had to do something. Right. And I said back there that I had no idea, and since I was traveling with you, heroes who have never turned a blind eye to evil and injustice, they would also understand that we're here to help, rather than to tolerate or uphold the status quo.
You used us as a part of your plan too?
My apologies. There was no time and quite a lot to explain, so but I can assure you that I've now. Of course, you're under no obligation, but I would really. Would you be willing to?
But Paimon's still mad at you.
You have my thanks. Now, there are still 2 outstanding matters in our I've examined one before. The other is the true purpose of the Black Gem. It's my hope that a brave fish will take my bait and venture outside of their. I'll put some music on while we wait.
Excuse me, Your Grace, but may I come in? I'm afraid that someone's been following me.
Please, do.
I apologize for my lack of composure. Yes, my lover Fasol told me all about you. Please, help us, Your Grace.
Slow down, take a deep breath, and start from the.
I'm sorry, Your Grace. I will try.
You mean when we saw him at the
Yes, he fled immediately. But thankfully, he still managed to meet up with me and explain now that he's lost Dugier's trust. What awaits him is agonizing censure.
Censure?
Censure is Dugier's method of establishing control. As rather than listening to me explain what it is, Your Grace. Every secret may be found within.
Here you are. I was wondering where you had run off to in such a hurry. Please excuse us, Your Grace. It was never our intention to disturb you like this. You see, Avisa's mental state has been. She rambles often, has hallucinations. It may be best to dismiss her babbling as
I don't recall hearing a knock or giving permission for you to.
Oh, my apologies. I merely did not wish for Your Grace to be alarmed. Had I not been so focused.
Like we believe you.
Please, there's no need to be upset. It's only natural to want to side with the poor sick girl, but.
Well then, what if the reasonable man wants to hear the lunatic?
That would be perfectly fine with me. Oh, and just so you know, we've also found the missing Mr. Fasol. I had no idea why he was so upset about losing his hat, really. Thankfully, he has already returned to his senses.
I'm sorry, Your Grace.
This is what you're afraid of, correct?
I've never seen that thing in my life.
Your Grace, I don't think there's anything else.
It's all right, Elise. As long as you tell, no matter what it is, it will no longer be able to hurt you. I swear this on my name and on.
Your Grace! Forget it. I'll keep my.
I'm sorry, Your Grace, but I really don't have anything more to say.
But what?
In that case, Avis and I will be off.
Miss Avis, please show me your head. There's nothing there.
Your Grace, I know you have long tired of my words, but please believe me when I say the Society has never caused trouble for you or any of the gods of the. Why are you doing everything in your power to prove our guilt? I'll do anything for you, as long as you give me the word. Why are you so intent on getting rid of someone who's been unfalteringly loyal.
Your words bore me. You know the consequences if I find you to be lying.
Everything that I do for the Fortress of Meripede. All right, Avis.
Just what's up with that guy? He makes Paimon really, really mad. We should have shown him his blood.
Sooner or later, all will pay the price for their arrogance. Oh, he must have been well prepared for this exact scenario, or he wouldn't have dared to be so openly hostile. The entire society are his hostages. His subordinates would definitely react if he were taken into custody. And that's why he dared to bare his fangs right in front of me. The true secret of the society is neither on the hat. Dugier probably knew this from the very beginning, which is why, however, if we were to look at the rules, it would also seem like the head has to be the place where they're keeping all of their...
Yeah, none of this makes sense to
From the way Dugier acted, he must have known from the beginning that we wouldn't be able to find any But if there's nothing on her head, why did Avis feel the need to remove her hat? The hats are definitely being used to hide a secret. I can't seem to...
I have an idea, but...
Huh? What is it? Tell Paimon about it!
You mean this thing? So, she handed a key piece of evidence over to us without Dugier know. That would mean that Avis didn't stay silent out of fear. She stayed silent because she'd already... Let me take a look. I managed to remove this from the hair clip. It's long, slender, and conical. Let's see.
Hey, what are you doing? Wait. Some kind of dark... And some of it has been absorbed by this thorny-looking thing.
You've probably heard before that water is filled with the strongest emotions of humanity. With that in mind, this liquid is probably a highly concentrated solution of fear.
Oh, so that's why even touching it will make you remember unpleasant things.
Dugier would be able to censure others. I can only imagine how it would feel to have this directly injected into your brain. The moment it hits you would be like being flooded with all the terrors you've ever experienced in your life. Agony, desolation, and an overwhelming sense of despair. No wonder they're all so terrified.
So, was the hat meant...
That might not even be all. We can't let Dugier escape.
Your Grace, we have taken the Society members into custody. They all tried to flee just a little while ago, as if they had received some kind... We decided to forestall their plan, and we're just about to send the word when you
Great work, everyone.
You had prepared for something like this all over...
I had them stay here to keep an eye on things, so I'm glad that my intuition turned... Perform a thorough search of the Society's head...
Understood, Your Grace.
Now, let's check on them. As expected, they all have a hollow thorn inserted into a wound on their head.
Ooh! Paimon's glad her eyesight isn't so good that she can see it from here. Paimon's gonna float away for a bit.
They probably left it there as a lasting reminder of Dugier's. These people must have had to endure an unimaginable amount of pain. Let's go check out the other areas, too.
Hey, come here. Have a look at this. in a box next to the book. The colors of the covers are completely different, though. And the names of the authors also don't match up. Yeah, and they did...
Look at what I found. This is a surveillance port. With this, Dugier would be able to remotely... So even if Dugier's not there Indeed. It's easy to become lost and confused when you're... And if any action you take may be deemed a mistake, Dugier has already tamed them to his will.
Your Grace! Your Grace!
What's the matter?
We couldn't find any Society members in the other areas. It also seems like none of the equipment in those rooms were ever... The lime scale, the layers of dust. We also investigated the members' residences and weren't able to find anything.
Oh.
They're gone? That could only mean...
Indeed. As long as he allowed Society members to mingle with others, even with threats of censure. Meanwhile, this marvelous gathering place will lose all... So instead of being his real base, this is just an elaborate performance. And only the most docile and well-trained members...
But then, where can we...
Let me... Dugier must be holding all the rest of his members in another place. And if the overseer of my fortress guard is never... He must be in Dugier's pocket. I'm of the same mind. Let's go.
Did that person flee here?
That's the most likely scenario to me. Let's keep heading down. We should be on the right track. Let's go. We can take...
Is this an answer from this world?
Look! There's a fallen guard over there! Paimon sees some Society members too!
After them!
It's Risley! Run!
Did Dugier send you?
Come on! It's time to talk!
I will take your cooperation into consideration.
But Mr. Dugier, he didn't want this guy to... We were just about to dispose of him when you...
So, in other words, your headquarters should be this...
Yes, it's just down this way. You'll make it there once you've seen it pass.
Guards, take them away. Let's go. It's about time that we...
There's so much space down here.
Yeah, these are all former work areas. There are usually guards on patrol here. Stay sharp. He's got a... A moment, please. The wind knows me.
Transfixed.
Let's begin.
Hey, are you okay?
You're safe now.
Who knew that there'd be Gardamex here? Dugier really prepared for everything.
And that would explain the strange decommission requests I received, as well as account for all the Gardamex that... Seems like he's prepared for an all-out confrontation.
Hey, what's this?
Seems like some kind of handbook. Ah, this should be the society. Members are not permitted to speak to each other. 5 members shall form a group, and the whole group will be punished for anyone who reports a fellow member's misbehavior shall... I see.
But that's just cruel and unreasonable.
To obtain food and water, prisoners are forced to avoid punishment. They learn to stop talking with one another. This leaves the wounds that... Finally, isolated and without hope, they accept their fate as Dugier's slaves. Do you remember what happened to Paimon? She rejected all this. She's usually all for tasty snacks, but she chose to go against her...
Ugh, is that the best example you could come up with? Anyway...
No, your decision was valid. However, the human heart is like a raft in a vast and empty ocean. We convince ourselves that we're in control, but in truth, those who use fear to lead others astray must pay for that crime. If I'm not mistaken, the space ahead should be the central area of this place. Rather than confront Dugier, I think it's more important... You guys should wait here. We'll try to open the door and check out some other spots.
Open the door. Would we have... Forget it, pirates... Whoa! It's turning! Is it because we touched this thing? Look, the other side's open! Let's go.
Bring it!
Now.
Laid bare.
Bring it!
Oh, it's so high. We're not gonna have to climb all the way up, are we?
Activate the mechanism in front of us first, just like before. Let's see if that changes anything.
Ooh, the water level's gone way up. So that's how we'll make it to the top.
Transfixed!
These should be the prison cells. Lots of empty cells in here.
Let's still rescue the ones who got left behind. Hey, it's all right now.
No. So close to me.
No, we're not gonna do that. Please calm down. We're not bad people.
We won't be able to get through to her right now. Not with the stress response in the way. I'd also guess there are many others here who are more or less like her. Let's let the guards take care of them for now.
The door's open. Huh. Maybe it's His Grace. I'll go take a look.
I leave this area to you.
Understood. And please take care as well, Your Grace.
Just focus on the... Let's go back. That mechanism from the first room. Don't forget to bring these along.
We should, take a break after all that running around. Yeah, let's rest here for a bit.
I must confess to being furious. To think that there are still some of you who remember their names. Facade, and today you will see with your own... Go on, Avis. Pierce his skull with the thorn in your hands, and then push in the Aqua Dolores. Of course, you will do it one drop at a time. Let it do its magic again, and don't stop until you've pushed all...
Thistle, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'll find a way to endure.
Oh, shut your wretched mouths! When did I give you permission to speak? My rules are the paramount law of this place. Only more pain will come to those who dare to disobey.
That's enough, Dugier. Your rabid screams have been beyond nauseating.
Is that his great...
Oh, Risley. Must you still refuse to let me be? Did I not spell everything out for you already? What's so blasphemous about sharing a slice of the cake with me when you've already got the entire fortress at your feet?
It would seem that you can't see the difference between sharing and looting. And on top of that, look at your people. Are they not starving as you wolf down your...
You. Stop acting all high and mighty like some hero of justice! Have you forgotten? Nobody in this blasted fortress is innocent! We are all irredeemable. What's so wrong about punishing those who deserve to be punished? It's what they've always deserved. And please, are you really gonna tell me that you care about their lives and well-being when you just need a supply of labor to keep this place running?
Sadly, you're wrong on both counts. Unlike you, I've never seen them as currency. The fortress is not only a place for confinement, but also a place for rebirth. Just as people are free to give in to the darkness within their hearts, they are also free to seek redemption and a new beginning. Our bodies have limits, but our spirits will always remain free. They may have made mistakes, but they are still human beings with people and things that they cherish. And most importantly, they should always retain the freedom to choose their own path once they've reflected on their past misdeeds. But you're destroying their spirits with fear, taking their freedom away so that they'll become slaves who will never again feel or think. And you say that's what they've always deserved? You are nothing compared to them.
He's really mad.
You think me arrogant, Risley? Well, I think you're too young, and nobody actually sees this fortress as any kind of just a wonderful place. See it for what it is. A dumping ground of pain and misery, irredeemable now and irredeemable forever! No prisoner will listen to you out of gratitude of their hearts. The whip is the only way to make them obey. Had you been just one step slower, I would have already taken control of all the garden mechs in this. Your vision gives you strength. But how long will it hold against the...
You talk big, but in the end, you know nothing outside of power and control. In that case...
Laid bare, one with nature.
Let's begin.
Have a safe trip.
If you think fear can control everything, well then, terrify me.
Don't high road me. You're just another crook. And it's time you got treated like one.
What's the matter? Too scared to shoot straight?
I'm warning you! Unauthorized punishment and torture are prohibited here. As the Duke, you should set an example.
Funny how that slipped my mind. Well, from this point on, you can forget about that rule. The rules of the fortress are there to keep the likes of you in check. But if the Duke wants somebody dead, he needs no justification. Understood. Sorry for taking so long. Did I keep you waiting?
No, not at all. Paimon didn't know you were so considerate.
If you ask me, I'd say I actually feel very helpless. There's no way that I could truly empathize with the fear that the members felt every day. I could comfort and compensate them all I want, but it might still not be enough to repair the damage that has been done. I have to take responsibility for it, as does the fortress. Yeah.
So, do you have a plan?
Oh, Dugier? For now, I think it's a very fitting punishment for him to have to imagine the sorts of He'll be left in the dark with regards to both the dates and the Of course, that's not to say that I'll be letting him off scot-free. I'm going to talk to the members of the society. He'll get a chance to experience...
Paimon didn't know you could also be so harsh. Looks like she should watch her tongue when she's around you in the future.
Why do you think I'd do that kind of thing to you? You offend me, Paimon. Anyway, jokes aside, thank you so much for all... How about this? I'll treat you to a meal in 2...
no.
Don't worry, it won't be the same old welfare.
Oh, then you...
Staring into my eyes is ill-advised. I can't help. What's your look? What you see?
Ah, you're here.
Paimon never forgets about meals. That's not what Paimon...
I'm a little confused, actually.
Hey, not you!
Jokes aside, I've got some good news. After taking a look, the doctors have let me know that which means that everyone should be able to recover after a period of... As for their mental recoveries, most are making good progress as well.
You sure got everything taken...
I try my best. After all, it's my duty to take care of everything that happens within my territory. Please, go ahead. Ah, that's a bit of a long story. I once had a similar experience. It had to do with the host family I lived with. I was an orphan, adopted by a couple with a great deal of love in their hearts. I had many siblings, and once we were older, Mom and Dad would turn us over to be individually adopted by families of greater means, and go on to adopt. They were perfect parents.
And then?
And then, I found out we were merely raised as livestock. Once we had reached a certain age, all children that were sold would leave the house, and nobody would know what became of them. As for those who didn't sell, did you know I once considered myself an extremely lucky child? And all of my friends, I was also not the first to find out about the truth. All those who found out, I could never shake the feeling of irony every time I juxtaposed their tragic ends against our parents' adoring smiles. Yes, like the society, my parents created a facade of joy, lied to satiate their desires, and even employed incredibly cruel methods to keep their... They did all of that, but never considered how their actions would utterly ruin all the children they took under their wing. But I did. So in the end, I killed them and set all of the remaining children free. I was convicted for my crimes and exiled to the fortress of Meripede. My methods were extreme, yes, but I was still a teenager at the time. I'd been betrayed by those I trusted most. and I didn't think that more moderate ways would solve the problem. My doubt and helpless anger pushed me forward until I got what I deserved. It's all right. You don't have to tell me what you think. I've already committed to this path, regardless of what anyone may say about it. The least I can do is to make sure that the same tragedy will not happen again in my...
Sorry to disturb you, everyone.
Oh, it's a Vis and Fasol! Are you...
It was all because you arrived in time.
We came here on impulse today, because we were hoping...
Please, go on right ahead.
It's... I'd like to be wedded to Avis here.
You're getting married?
Yo, adorable.
Yeah, we met each other through the society and both fell into Dugier's trap. But even during our time there, we never doubted each other. We always believed that Dugier was manipulating us, trying to make us mistrust each other. And after this incident, we've come to believe that we've found the one for the rest of our lives.
Wow.
You could say we managed to make the best out of a bad situation. He didn't abandon me, and I didn't forsake him either. But we're still both prisoners. And we also aren't sure if the fortress is the best place to host something so celebratory. So we are just wondering, is our request a bit too out of line?
You're right in that the fortress has never hosted a wedding before. But that's no reason to say no, is it? I'll help you make the arrangements. If you need anything special shipped in from the surface, just say the word.
We can't thank you enough, Your Grace. We are actually also planning to stay here after the conclusion of our sentences.
Yeah, we've already made tons of special memories here. So now, it'd be too hard to leave. And we have full confidence in the fortress's future with you at the helm, Your Grace.
Your trust is the highest form of praise.
Hey, loosen up a bit. Shouldn't you be the happiest man in Teyvat to hear that people would like to stay of their own free will?
Yeah. I'll always take a genuine expression of faith over any obligation to obey.
Huge. White powders. White powders indeed, son. That's a tough one to grasp. I have so many things to do tomorrow on Genshin, my goodness, my gosh. Alright, thanks for watching the stream, bye bye.